Shoot from the hip. Welcome back, everyone. LanceScurv here. Just sharing a little bit of my tranquility as I start my day, because I know once I leave out, I will not be coming back until after dark. But it's going to be very casual for me. I feel so centered. I feel so tranquil. I had a really good night's rest. And I really have been getting good sleep these last few months. Not that before that it wasn't, but for me, it's like a saturation period where it gets deeper and deeper and deeper. And we're not just talking about physical sleep, we're talking about rest altogether. And it's gotten to the point where it's become very spiritual for me. Everything's spiritual, everything's physical, everything's mental, meaning that you're not going to live on this level without having to deal or existing in those areas unless you meditate and focus more on one. Like when you go to the gym, it's a spiritual thing and a mental thing, but it's very much physical. When you go to your house of worship or you meditate at home, you're in your body and you have to think, but that being said, it's very much a spiritual thing. And when you read, or you go online, or you read a book and you study, then it's more mental, but the other aspects of your being still have a lot of influence until we're not on the physical level anymore. That being said, the thought that hit me waking up, because I get a lot of my downloads when I wake up, that many of us are living a false life with a false personality based on our experiences growing up and the environments that we're in. And many people create the persona that they project to the world that's not really them. And many people, I won't say most, and maybe I can say most, will wear a mask or multiple masks to get through their day. And the people who vibe with them don't really know who they are. Even most of these individuals who wear the mask, they don't know who they are because they started to believe the mask from which they hide behind. And that's sad. And it's almost a crime. Because in reality, how can you ascend successfully to the next level if all that you have been living is a lie behind a mask or multiple masks? That created persona that many utilize to seem stronger than what they are, as opposed to facing the fact that you need more strength and resiliency in your life, and you genuinely work on those things to become that. Many of us take the shortcut. Like I've noticed women who, I'm not picking on women now, let's just use this as an example. You may not want to sacrifice or discipline yourself at the dinner table. So when it's time to go out to a function, you'll wear this tight girdle to suck your waistline in, to look as though you have an hourglass shape when you go to the function. You can do that if you want, but you're really not doing as you should to actually discipline yourself to get into that type of physical shape where you look the way you do in the girdle. We have men who don't want to take care of themselves and they want to use the Viagra, they want to take these shots, they want to use the machines. They have things that you can inject and do to your male organ instead of taking care of yourself, or undoing what you've done all these years and not taking care of yourself, and it's going to take time. The fact of the matter is that many of us lie to ourselves and we're not being realistic. And whenever we see situations around us, as far as people who can look through the mask, that person who's wearing the mask or has a collection of multiple masks they're not going to feel too comfortable around that person who can see right through it, even though a person may not say it. That person with the false persona knows it and will even demonize you for seeing into their vulnerabilities and the part of themselves that they have not worked on, that's not finished. Although on this level, we're not really going to be finished. We're a work in progress, and it takes time. But most of us, I say the word transition, but I want to say it this way, to have more punch. Most of us are going to die living a lie. Most of us are going to die not knowing who we are, because we're lost in working hard to maintain a persona that we feel we can put out to the world as a barrier between our true selves and the world around us. But see, what most people don't understand is that they're wearing a mask to acclimate themselves to what they see around them, as far as the strong people, the intelligent people, the people who have it made, or whatever level of what you think is success. But they don't realize that many of them who they're putting up this mask for, they're wearing a mask also to project onto you that everything is just fine in their lives. And I'm not saying that our lives are not improved. I'm not saying that many people don't live good lives, because many people have done the right thing by themselves to improve themselves sincerely instead of taking a shortcut. But you'd be surprised. So we have all these people walking around, hiding behind a facade of false visage that doesn't exist. And the sad part about it is many of these individuals don't realize it takes more energy to maintain this facade than to just go ahead and deal with the real work that is required for you to improve. Because after the mask comes off, if it does, and the true self is revealed, the world will see who you are. We have many people here who are based, or I can't say based, but who are very insecure as to who they are because they don't like what they see. Well then, why don't you do a renovation? If you're living in a home and you don't like the way it looks, well, why don't you make some changes so you can be happy where you live? And this is why people, especially with the materialism, or rating the next person according to the amount of material items that they have. I have more cars than you. I have more this than you. I have more money. I have money. I know people, I've heard them say, oh, I have money, meaning that they have lots of money, but they can't pay back their loans. They're scrounging, the facade. It's too much. It's too much for me. That's why many people who know me, they understand that I am very much an extrovert when the time comes, when I feel that it's worth it to open myself up to quality people. But other than that, I'm very much an introvert, and I enjoy time by myself. Mr. Scurv and I. That's it. I create. I can work on myself. I can improve on myself. I can increase my insight by conquering what needs to be conquered and cleaned from within. See, I've been through a lot. I've had things to clean up from within in my own life. That's why when I see certain things, I know it. Experience, and having been there, you know it. When you spend several decades of your life being real with yourself, and it doesn't mean you're going to just do this complete cleansing, because many of us talk about cleansing our body and taking these herbs and these different things to cleanse our body, but the persona of that particular person who works so hard on the physical, they have so much work to do to face themselves because they cannot face themselves. And I understand that. I understand when I see it. I understand when I experience it. Many people don't want to do the work. And again, they're going to die not knowing who they are. Many religions and many spiritual practices speak about judgment day, or being judged or assessed for your life, evaluated for your life on this earth. And when that time comes, for many people who have worn the mask so much and for so long, and have this revisionist history of their lives to new people that are just meeting them, so they change how they dress it up. Like a person who doesn't have such a good resume, but they're going for a certain job and they know that the resume as it stands in reality doesn't have a chance of landing in that job. So they revise that work history to look good to the potential employer. Many of us do that. But how painful will it be when you are assessed, whatever way it may be? I couldn't tell you, but if this is true, with our assessment and judgment on our lives, which really judgment to me is not a word that's appropriate. It's used. Why do you say that, Lance? Well, the reason why I say that is because judging is when you don't know. When the police officer has the radar and he's sitting on the side of the road and a car flies by at 75 miles an hour in a 50 mile per hour speed zone, when he pulls that car over, he can't say, well, I kind of think you were going fast, but I'm going to write on there, I kind of think you were going fast and that's the ticket. No, I have the radar. This is not judgment. I have assessed your speed for what it really is, and you were going 75 miles an hour in a 50 mile per hour zone. You can't dispute that. So I wouldn't say judgment day, because the Creator and the higher powers don't judge. They know what it is. They can see through the mask. And how sad of a day it will be when you realize that your mask won't work when you get to that level. But a painful time when you realize that the time you were given on this earth, on this level, you could have done the real work instead of lying to yourself and lying to others around you, living a false life, where inside, the venom that you carried, the evil that you carried, the jealousy that you carried, the false pride that you carried, the need to know everything and to want to control other people's lives because you're insecure, and all of that doesn't matter, because on the next level, it's a filtration system. When you pass from this level to the next level, anything that's not real, it ain't coming with you. That's the fact of the matter. It's not coming with you. You're not going to fool the Creator who made you, who knows you now, who sees you wearing the masks, and you can't lie. So why waste your time? Why waste your life realizing that all of that didn't matter? So me, I enjoy being to myself and doing the work from within. And this is why more and more, I don't know everything. I'm not this man of great wisdom or whatever, but I'm coming along on that lane where I can see more than I ever saw before. And I can see instantly a lot of times things in people that they don't see. And I'm not saying I can read your mind, but when you have experience in life with different entities, different types, different false personas, and you have a feel for it, you know what you're looking at. And I know it's sunny out here. There's a couple clouds that's going to come by, and I know I'm sweating, but I just had to get out here and just speak about what was on my mind that way. And of course, there's a vast amount of thoughts behind that I'm going to be meditating on for the rest of the day. I just wanted to put that out there, and I want to know what you think about that. But again, I have so much more to talk about that because I love speaking about human nature. I love speaking about how we interact with each other and seeing past the facade, seeing past the mask. And this is what makes me a person who agitates others without agitating them. Me just being who I am, it upsets people who know that they're wearing this mask. And I'm not assessing you. I can see it. It is what it is. Hopefully you can grow beyond that. Hopefully you won't be afraid anymore. You won't be insecure as to who you really are as you match up to the world, because a lot of it is insecurity. You know, And they'll throw off on other people what their insecurities are, thinking that, well, I can hurt them this way because I'm walking around feeling less than and hurt. That's not me. I don't project off onto other people because of my own insecurities, right? And I don't look at my shortcomings in life as insecure because I'm not trying to hide it. It's something that I work on. If I feel it's something that's not up to par and it's not as strong as it should be, I'm going to face it and I'm going to make it work. I learned that from many years in bodybuilding competitively. If you have a body part or part of your symmetry or balance that's out of whack, you get in the gym and you focus on those things. And that's a lot harder to do, tell me, to change how your limbs and how your body works. So when it comes toward facing myself and ascending, I'm not going to say change, but making myself better for me, the world around me, so I can have a smoother life. You enjoy life more when you work on yourself. You enjoy life more when you don't have to cart around many masks for people to show that you're this person that's far ascended, far more developed and aware. You know, now people go on YouTube and listen to videos and learn some new words and go and talk a certain way, like they're deeply spiritual and have no idea what they're saying. Or they want to be known as somebody who knows history, so they go on Google or they go on YouTube and copy and paste and answer you back in a text with something that was clearly taken from Wikipedia or Google. It happens to me all the time. But how many people can speak from their heart on a whim and be real about it? I'd like to know what direction you'd like for me to take these conversations to, and I want to go deeper. Hit me with some questions. Hit me with some concepts. Because as each passing day goes by, I feel lighter and lighter and lighter. And the more I work on myself, is the less I feel this thing that they call death or transition. Because I'm already getting lighter, as well as getting attacked in my ears by these flies, but that's natural. That's what they do, right? But when it comes to people and your dealings with people, if you master yourself, you can master being around the people who have the negative energy or neglectful energy toward themselves, who want to throw it on you. So I know how to dodge it. I know how to get away from that, you know? And they can sense the peace inside of you, the centeredness inside of you, no matter how much they claim to be peaceful and centered. This is not a competition. If it is a competition, from my side, I'm competing with destroying anything within me that's not good for me to rise. I compete with no one. My work is with myself. But there's so many people who peep out the window symbolically in life to see what you're doing, and they climb up on your channel and whatever. I put stuff out there. You're welcome to come and peep. I know who peeps and who doesn't. I got friends, you know, unless you change your IP address like every other day. I know, and it's funny because many people are afraid, and I understand that. And when you talk real, it's like, I don't think I can do that. Yes, you can. You can get better. Put the mask down. Live a real life. Face the things that you have to face. In this life, we've been given a hand of cards, like when you play a card game, out of the deck of life. And for some, they may feel like they have the winning hand, and they blunder it off, thinking that they have it made. And you have some people in life who are handed a hand that looks like it could never win the game, but they work on it. They're shrewd with their moves as they play the game. And oftentimes, those who know, they often end up the winner. I want to be the winner over the deck, or not just the deck, but the hand that I was given, whatever that may be on a whole scale of whatever other people have, which that's not my concern. My concern is staying focused on my hand and winning the game of life, which is not over anybody else, but it's about where I started and where I ended up, and how happy and cleansed I am, not just the body, but how I feel about myself my spirit, my mentality. You'll have more of a joyful life when you clean house, mentally, spiritually, and physically. Never forget that. I'm going to go right now. I just had to drop this before I leave out, and I'll be meditating on some things, and maybe as I commute, I'll be writing some articles on my phone as I usually do, because I get a lot done in a day. I'm a machine that way. I've been doing this for many years, and I enjoy it, and it's a pleasure. Every comment that you leave and every text message that you send me, it's an honor and a pleasure, and I thank you so much. So as I always say, on to the next one. Much love to you all. Leave a comment. Let me know what you think. LanceScurv out. Peace.